So what surprised me about this year was a number of clients talking about in-housing and the excitement in the industry around that. In reality, they're white labelling products from bespoke digital agencies, be that those based in the US or the UK. And I think ultimately, when I look forward to next year, it's going to be very much those larger multinational networks such as ourselves creating products and offers that will help address those clients who feel a need to have those capabilities in-house.
So it's been very interesting across 2018, where a lot of the conversation I've had with CMOs have been around recognition that brands can't do it by themselves, that they need to partner with specialist technology businesses to really enable accelerated growth. So there's a whole shift towards recognising the power of partnership, and that's been quite exciting and very relevant to me in running an emerging technology division.
The one thing I've seen impact the business this year has been the rise of e-commerce. And e-commerce isn't necessarily a new thing, but rather it's impacting brands that haven't had to do any non-bricks and mortar activity before. It's causing some real issues internally at their organizations between the structure of marketing and shopper. The two really need to come together in today's digital world.
It's a year where there's been a lot of uncertainty, a lot of political unrest and anxiety, and getting into the headspace of consumers has been a challenge for brands. So a lot of our clients are using movie sponsorships to tap into storytelling, to tap into assets that are really culturally relevant around the world. And it's been so effective. So we're seeing clients getting growth in footfall, clients growth in retail sales, and just using an old school traditional technique to the best advantage they can.
The thing that stood out for me in CPG this year was how to do sophisticated mass marketing, quite frankly, which is how you apply the modern data and technology environment to the principles of reaching more people more often and doing that to sell more stuff. I think a lot of brands struggle with it, and they struggle with the cost-benefit analysis of it and the data sufficiency of it. How much is enough?
Okay, nothing's necessarily surprised me this year, but I think one of the things I'm seeing more and more of is the impact of Amazon as a business and the influence that they have over the way that people are making decisions. We're shortcutting to reviews, a number of reviews, and interestingly, I think what that means is that the worlds of brand and commerce are beginning to collapse together.
The single trend I'd say that stood out most was the impact of a single word, the impacts in terms of confusion caused, the political impact of that word, the levels of opaqueness that it creates in media planning and execution, that word being data. There is an immense amount of confusion about how to apply it, when to apply it, where to apply it, applying strategically versus tactically, and very few people have nailed that so far.
What kind of did surprise me was that e-commerce is back in conversation. I remember in the very early days of the web, when we were building websites to sell things, e-commerce was very much in conversation. I think the real difference between now and then is in 2018 when we talk about e-commerce. It's not about driving to the brand's website per se. That's only a part of it. It's also driving to Amazon, it's driving to retail.com, e-tail.com.
Innovation is interesting to see crazes, the rise and the fall of Fortnite practically in the same year, the return of slime as the kids' toy of choice this Christmas, and also very interesting GDPR, which kind of feels like an unexploded bomb. Huge piece of legislation, first piece of data legislation since God knows when, the 1990s I guess, and we haven't really felt the full impact of it yet.